Adding a simple contact form. Let's go ahead and add a contact form that looks a lot like this contact form we have right here. We're going to start by clicking Block, Add Block. Then the page will expand to show you all the different places that you could add that block. Click Add Here, wherever you want your form to appear. Then you're given a choice of all the different HotDoodle blocks. Go ahead and click on Form and click Insert this block. Now our first choice is to add the fields to this form. Click Edit Fields. Select from the drop-down One Line Entry Field Text. The identifier is just a name you're going to give the fields so that you can identify them in HotDoodle. Nobody but you will see the identifier. The caption is the portion of the field that your visitor will see. So let's ask someone's name. We're going to put an asterisk in there because we're going to make it a required field. You make it required by clicking a check mark there. Click Save. So you've created your first field. Let's go ahead and make one for number, email, message. So we'll do another one-line entry field, but we're going to do integer this time because we're going to ask for a phone number. So the identifier will be phone, the caption will be phone, and again we're going to make this one required, so we're going to put an asterisk on this one as well. Go ahead and click Save. Your next field is created. Let's put one more field, one-line entry text for an email. We're going to make this one required too, and click Save. Now let's do a multi-line text box. Our identifier will be message. Our caption will be message. And this one's not going to be required. But let's change the rows and the columns so it's not so large. We'll do 10 rows, we'll do 30 columns, click Save. Now you have 4 different fields, and you can click Done. Next, let's choose the behavior for the form that gets submitted. We're going to name it New Contact Form. You can see we're getting a warning right here that says email is currently disabled in this site. The from address has not been set. That's something we're going to set a little bit later. Now your form can be configured to either send an email to someone or save right on the website. We're going to click Send Email, and we're going to take off Save. We don't want it to save on the website. We just want it to email us. Your HotDoodle form comes with a Submit button and a Reset button built right in. If you want to change the wording that's on the Submit or the Reset button, you can go ahead and do that here. In the response section, this is what will be shown on screen when somebody submits the form. So you can get creative as you want. You can add pictures and anything else in here. You can put a thank you and lots of other pertinent information that somebody will need after they submit a form to you. Scroll down and click Save. Next, let's click Edit Email. Now this is going to change all the settings for who gets sent the email and what gets transmitted in the email. So the email subject line, when a form is submitted and that email is created and sent to somebody, this will be the subject line of that email. So submitted form from site is not very specific, so I would recommend writing something like submitted form from your company name. This way, when you get it in your inbox, you can realize what it's referring to. Again, we're getting the warning, but we're going to go take care of this a little bit later. So down under Groups and Users is where you can decide if you want a group that you've created on your website to receive the email, or if you just want an individual user to receive the email. Let's just choose a group for now, and I'll show you how to create a group and add people to that group in a little bit. So go ahead and click on Contact Form Recipients. Click the arrow to move it over to Included. So this group will now be included on the email that gets sent when the form gets filled out. You can scroll down. If you do want to send a copy of the form to the person who submitted it, you can go ahead and click check mark here, but we're not going to do that because this is just a simple contact form. Scroll down, and under Email Contents are where we're going to pick out what information in the form we want to be emailed. Now, this seems like a no-brainer. We'd want all the information, but Hotdoodle does allow for some complicated forms, so possibly you could have all the information emailed to you, and then on a different screen you could have simpler information saved on the website. So right now let's just find each of the fields by the identifiers. Name, so click on Name and click on the arrow to move it from Excluded to Included. Let's do the same with Phone, Email, Message, and then I like to do timestamp. That way when you get it, you know when that form was submitted. If it for some reason is a service call or anything like that where you need to know the exact time that it was submitted. Go ahead and scroll down and click Save. Now you've configured your form and you've named it and you've set it up to send an email to a group. Let's go ahead and click Save. Then we're going to click Return to Main Page up in the top corner. Now you can see that we've created a form that almost looks exactly like the form. We didn't put a title on it. So let's go back and edit it and put a title on this form. Up here in the title, we can just put Leave a Message. Click Save. And now our form looks exactly like the form that already exists. Now there's two more things I want to show you. This form is not quite set up right yet. We need to set a universal from address on the website. Now what that means is the universal from address means anytime a submission comes from your website, it has to come from somewhere. So we're just going to type in the email address that we want it to default to when it sends an email. So go ahead and find on the Hotdoodle toolbar Administration, click on Administration, click on Configure Site, and then click on Site Identification. Scroll down to where the from address line is, and I like to put no reply at yourdomain.com. Once you have that in there, scroll down and click Save. Now the from address has been sent. We have one more step to make sure that this sends to the right people. So let's go ahead and check who this will send to, and then let's check who's included in the group. So click Edit Form Block, click Edit Email, and Contact Form Recipients. So anyone in the Contact Form Recipients group is going to get emailed this form. Let me show you how to go check who's in that group. Click Return to Main Page. Now you're going to click Administration, Manage Users. Right now there's only one user on this website, but let's go look at the Manage Groups. In the Contact Form Recipients, find the group, and to the right you can click on Manage Members to see who's in that group. And right now the one user on this website is a member of that group because the check mark is under is member. So that means anytime a form is submitted on this website, this user will get an email of that form. Go ahead and click Save or Cancel. And let's say that you wanted to add a brand new email address to send that form to. Go ahead and click on Manage User Accounts. Let's click on Create New User Account. Give a first name and a last name and an email. This will be the email that the form gets sent to and any other information from the website for this user. You can also set up a password here. And go ahead and click Advanced Fields. What we want to do is we just want to make sure that any communications go to the email address. So there are other options, but we want to make sure that when a form gets sent, that it goes to the email address. So go ahead and click Save. We've now created another user. However, we haven't added them to the group that gets emailed the form yet. So let's go ahead and do that. From the user screen, you can go ahead and click on Manage Groups all the way on the right. And now locate the group that you want to add them to, Contact Form Recipients, and go click to add a check mark next to Is Member. Then click Save. Now you've created a new user and you've told that new user to become part of the group that gets emailed the form. Lastly, you can test the form. And test the form, you just fill it out. And click Submit. Once you click Submit, you'll see your form has been submitted, or whatever message you've put in the form to display after the form has been submitted. To fully check to make sure the form is working right, go check your email address and make sure that form's in there. So now you've learned how to create a form and choose who gets sent an email of that form.